Welcome back, Middle Age Grind. Coming to you today on this Friday, December 27th. We're inching closer to 2025 next week. And I wanted to share something with you today. And it's something that maybe can help you out. And that's when I like making these videos, when it's something that I think can help someone out. And I'm going to get right into it. Our family, we need to find $500 a month in our budget to cover an expense, and I'll talk about in a later date. And I've spent the last week figuring out in our budget how we can do it with changing some things around and stuff that maybe you can do as well. And this is not going to be really like, oh, we're going to eat out less and we're going to cut back on this or that. That is likely to happen. But I wanted some concrete things that we can do in our family's budget, and that's what I'm going to lay out here now on what we did. First off, so phone provider, okay? We've been having Verizon probably, I'd say, 6 years now, and I have 5 phones. Don't judge me. I have my wife and I and my 3 daughters, and my son doesn't have a phone yet. He just made 10, but there's reasons why they need to have them logistically in sports and home. We don't have home phones anymore. And Verizon is consistently going up and up and up. Called about it, whatever. I know a lot of people make videos about switching and this and that. And I got an offer from T-Mobile. And there's a T-Mobile store in front of our neighborhood. And I finally bit the bullet and went. And when I say I thought this was going to be an arduous process and switching phones out and data and all. When I tell you, it was the easiest thing I've done in something like that. It was literally, okay, how much it costs for 5 phones? These are the phones I have. I want to keep them. And the lady gave me a price. I'm like, really? And I was paying $333 a month. Now that dropped to $178. That's $155 a month savings. And when I tell you, it was literally something as easy as moving a SIM card in one phone to the other and restarting the phones. And 2 of the 3 phones were actually eSIM cards. And the lady did everything. It didn't take long. I actually owed a little bit, if you know how those things work when you get phones, it's built in the monthly bill. We owed on 3 of the phones, I think it was all my daughter's phones, because they were newer. And it was different amounts. One was like a couple $100, one was like $500, and one was maybe 3 something. And T-Mobile pays off a phone up to $800. And now we own all the phones outright, no debt. And supposedly, because T-Mobile is offering some deals, they're locking in this price for life. Now, I know how that works and different things, whatever, but hey, even if it just stays the same for 2 years, guys, that's $1,900 a year we're saving on these phones. And they threw in, which I didn't include, if you purchase one product in the store, they gave you a $200 gift card, and the girl was like, this charger thing here is $20. So the only money I came out of pocket was $21.78. I got a $200 gift card on top of that, and I'm saving. And I was shocked, and I would have even went over for the same price. Verizon's coverage, especially where my office is, was terrible. Sometimes I couldn't even make calls in my office. I had to walk outside. Text didn't go through. This supposedly T-Mobile's coverage is the best nationwide right now. And I've been very pleased, been having it a little over a week now. Way better coverage, especially in some of the outlying areas where I drive for work and stuff like that. So very, very pleased. This is by far the biggest savings. And I'm going to go over a couple of others that may be something you can do and look into. Side note, I have Spectrum Internet right now. I'm paying $95 a month. Now with that comes an app for TV, live channels. It ends up being about 50 channels. And it's a lot of the stuff that my wife watches and the kids. So for $95 a month, we're basically getting TV. 2, even though it's an app, it's not boxes. T-Mobile has a deal for $55 a month with the mesh system on the house. And I thought about doing it, but the reason why I didn't, I like the Spectrum internet. It's unlimited. Now T-Mobile's is too. And I have built-in Wi-Fi extenders on my property. I have my cameras all over, Knowledge Doghouse, whatever. And we're getting TV with that price. So even though I would save roughly $40 a month going to T-Mobile for the internet, to get something like a Sling is an extra $55 to where Charter's giving me Spectrum TV. So I held on to that for now. And I will make a phone call and see if I can get that lowered a little bit. Sometimes if you call them, they'll lower it $5 or $10. I hadn't done that yet, but I'll probably do that today. That, guys, is the biggest one a month. Like I say, right now we're saving $155 a month on just that. The next thing I'll go over with here, we live in the South, bugs, whatever. Paying a pest control company to come spray once a quarter. My buddy worked for a pest control company. He basically told me what to do. I have the stuff. I'm going to do this myself. I canceled that. That was $35 a month. So now we're up to we're up to 200 with that. Next thing was, and this is kind of, and I kind of feel bad about this in a way, and it's a business expense, but I was paid $100 a month for a local newspaper that's been sold off, and their owners don't even live here, just to have kind of my picture with State Farm. And I do advertise with my business guys, but I just looked at that as an expense, like what I'm really getting out of that. I cut that. That's another $100 a month there. Now this last one here is something that you can maybe do, and I'll share some tips and advice. We have 3 vehicles, okay? One of them's a little work truck I drive to work, a little single cab Toyota, 10 years old. We have my wife's newer car, and I have an older SUV. We have a big family. My daughter's going to be driving next year, and I'm kind of trying to be strategic on vehicles and not having to buy new, and we own them all outright kind of thing. I made some changes deductible-wise. And customers sometimes come in and ask me my opinion, and it's always their decision, but you can advise. Saving on the 3 vehicles on a monthly basis, probably somewhere around, because if you add them all up, another $67. Okay. And what I did, didn't change liability or anything like that. Upped collision deductible from $500 to $1,000 on each vehicle. Now, what collision pays for, guys, if you're at fault in an accident and you hit an object, that's collision, okay? Or if someone hits you and does not have insurance, the collision in Louisiana at least pays for your car to be repaired. This is something you have to have a fully funded emergency fund to kind of be there, because if that deductible goes from $500 to $1,000 and you're at fault, well, that's an extra $500 you have to come with out of pocket, and it's one of those things. It's insurance. It's ifs. But I've upped that on all the vehicles there to save a little bit more money. But like I say, if something does happen, God forbid, we have those funds, kind of in a stowaway savings emergency account to cover that. Not everybody does. But if you add all those things that I just mentioned, so the biggest thing was the phones, the pest control, the eliminating the $100 a month ad for one of my things in the business, and the insurance, I'm up to $405.60 per month. All right. No, it might not sound like a lot, but that's a lot to us, and we need to come up with $500. And I wanted to do this video to show you it can be done. And this is before, like I'm saying, we'll eat out once less a week, or, we're not going to go get coffee as much, or fast food. Those things can be done, but those are expenses to me that vary a little bit from month to month. These are fixed expenses that, I have a literal dollar amount, $405.60. It's going down, and if you add that up, over an annual period, that's a big saving. So wanted to share that video with you today. And if it can help you out at all, and then look, leave me some suggestions. Send me a message or in the comments. What are you doing? And I love that, you know, YouTube and creators, and we share things. I've thought about this a little bit. This was some of the low-lying fruit. And I think there's some more there to be had. And I'm going to try to find another $100 a month at least to cover that expense. But with that said, I hope you're having a great holidays and enjoying this week between Christmas and New Year's. And we'll see you real soon on the Middle Age Grind.